killed this guy?
Yeah, they've got some.
Do they have a picture?
A Davis police officer killed in the line of duty just weeks after being sworn in as an officer, the latest on this tragedy. Plus, today is day 21 of the government shutdown, and many federal workers won't be getting their paychecks today. And a missing Wisconsin teen is found alive months after her parents were murdered. What we now know about the suspect. Good morning, I'm Kenny Choi. This is your PIXNow update. Here are some of the top headlines we are following. A police officer in Yolo County, town of Davis, has died after she was shot in the line of duty overnight. Police found the suspect dead as well after a standoff at a nearby home, apparently of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The officer has been identified as Natalie Corona, who followed her father's footsteps in law enforcement. The 22-year-old had just graduated from the Sacramento Police Department's academy back in July and completed her field training in Davis just a couple weeks ago. Police say that she responded yesterday evening to an otherwise routine three-car accident at 5th and D Streets when she was gunned down. She later died at UC Davis Medical Center in Sacramento.
Natalie was just full of life and full of energy, and just an absolute pleasure to be around. She loved being around everybody in the department, and she just worked like you can't believe. In fact, there was a period of time that before going to the academy that we ran out of the funding for her paid position, and despite that, she still came in and volunteered.
Police surrounded a rental home about a block away from the crash scene where the suspect was believed to be. Officers spent hours trying to coax the suspect out, and about 1:30 this morning then found him dead. So far, Davis Police has not released the suspect's name or a potential motive. It's the first killing of an officer in the Davis Police Department since 1959. Taking a live look at the Capitol now, where the House has just voted to ensure all federal employees will be paid retroactively after the partial government shutdown ends. The Senate approved the bill unanimously yesterday, so now the bill heads to the president's desk, who is expected to sign it. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers will miss their first paychecks today as the partial government shutdown enters day 21. If it reaches into tomorrow, it'll become the longest shutdown in history, and there appears to be no end in sight. In the meantime, the president says that he has the authority to declare a national emergency if Democrats don't agree to provide $5.7 billion for the border wall. Federal law allows the president to divert funds from military construction projects during an emergency. Yesterday, the White House asked the Pentagon to look through a disaster relief bill passed last year and determine which projects can be delayed. That includes things like flood control efforts to prevent future disasters. If the president does declare a national emergency and attempt to divert the funds, the move is sure to be challenged in federal court. This just in, we're getting the first look at the 21-year-old man suspected of kidnapping Wisconsin teenager Jamie Kloss and killing her parents. Police believe that Jake Thomas Patterson killed the couple because he wanted to abduct their daughter. Yesterday, Kloss was found alive about 65 miles north of her home. She was last seen in October, and then the next morning, a garbled 911 call was made from her mother's cell phone. When police arrived at the Kloss home about 4 minutes later, they say that the teenager was not there and her parents were found dead. A woman says that she was walking her dog when Kloss approached her and said she needed help.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. There was rumors earlier today, and I prayed they were true, and they come to not be true, and I just shut myself totally down because I thought today was going to be the day, and then to find out 2 hours later that she was found, I just cannot believe this.
A suspect was taken into custody a short time later. Back here in the Bay Area, San Francisco police seeking the public's help in finding a suspect who assaulted an 89-year-old woman. Happened on Tuesday, just before 7 o'clock in the Visitation Valley neighborhood. Officers responding to a burglary call found the victim with several traumatic injuries that are life-threatening. An unpleasant experience for passengers on an Aeromexico Airlines flight. Yesterday, the plane from Guadalajara was diverted to Oakland International instead of SFO because of the fog. Well, the flight remained on the tarmac in Oakland for almost 4 hours. Passengers then started complaining of no drinking water and air conditioning. Here's part of the pilot's conversation with air traffic controllers.
Right now, we have a real emergency here. The passengers are shouting. They are calling 911. They just put in social that we are kidnapping them. They put in signs around the plane. I've been asking for an hour and a half, so I don't think that you understand the quality of the emergency here.
I do understand, sir. However, I do not have the personnel to contain everybody. We're working on that right now in order to get your doors open.
Apparently, babies were crying and some adults fainted inside that plane, and at one point, 2 passengers decided that they had had enough, including one man who threatened to open the door if passengers were not allowed to deplane. The Alameda County Sheriff's Department was called to the scene.
We encountered the gentleman that was upset. There was also a second passenger that was upset. That person was also detained.
They were later released without being charged. The airline says that it does not have any operations out of Oakland International Airport and had to request special authorization from the airport to deplane those passengers. It's not uncommon for people to share their passwords for streaming services like Netflix. Now the software company Cinemedia says it can track you down if you're letting others use your account. The company analyzes location data using artificial intelligence to determine who is sharing credentials and from what location. 26% of millennials use someone else's passwords for video streaming services. One media research firm estimates that if 4 million U.S. households stop sharing passwords, Netflix could make $390 million more per year from new accounts. We'll be back with another update at the top of the hour. You can always watch and listen to our updates on your favorite platforms seen here, including our website. It's KPIX.com. And check out our KPIX Facebook page.
Shucky ducky quack quack.